commands are very similar to what you are trying to do actually. If you are trying to encode airline, then it's .ae. I hope it's visible. In Galileo, this I cannot zoom this screen. If you want, I can use Galileo desktop. It is not visible. Is it visible to everyone? I think Gunjan, you are using mobile phone. Is it visible to you? Okay, check it. Bhumika, I think you also are using mobile. Visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fair enough. And otherwise, आप phone को zoom कर लो. So .ae is used to encode airlines. If you want to encode airlines, .ae. If you want to encode city, then .ce. The commands are very similar to what you are using, what you want to do. CE means country encode. .ae means airline encode. Dot is important here. Most of the commands in Galileo start with dot. If you are country, I'll tell you later on. City. .ae is for airline and .ce is for city. For country, the command is different. So suppose you're trying to encode airline, the most easiest one always, so I start with airlines always. So .ae is for encoding. It means you want to encode some airline, you type the name of the airline. For example, let's take some new example, maybe. I just type Virgin so that I can get names of all the airlines which are there. Virgin America, Virgin Australia, Virgin Atlantic, right? So these are the three airlines which starts with Virgin. So we have Virgin America, we have Virgin Atlantic, we have Virgin Australia. So the code for Virgin America is VX, two-letter code, which is ITA code, and VRD is ICAO code, which is not for our purpose actually. Virgin Atlantic is VS. Okay, now students are joining. Then the class is already started. And .va is for Virgin Australia. See, you will always find few symbols here. This A and GS here. See, A stands that, see, I tell you, there are three types of memberships. One is ITA membership. Other one is, okay, let me just write this on whiteboard. Whenever we are doing Galileo, you were absent. I'll give you the download later on. So there are three types of membership in the world. One is ITA, one is SITA, CETA, other one is ARINC. So the codes which are being used here on the Galileo system, or you find on Amadeus system. Amadeus, these codes are very, very rarely visible because there's a separate command for such coding. Here the coding is visible along with the airline, country and city only. If the airline or the country, this is for airline. If airline is a member of ARINC, then it is being reflected by the code A. If airline is not a CETA member, if it's non-CETA member, then it's being reflected by C. If C is not written, it means airline is a CETA member. It's opposite. If C is written with the airline, it means it is a non-CETA member. CETA is also a kind of a membership. If C is not written, it's assumed that it's a CETA member already. Then, if the code is G, now it is opposite. If the airline is partnered with Travelport means Galileo. The parent company of Galileo name is Travelport. If the airline is a partner to Galileo, it means they have done partnership with Galileo for special rates, etc. Then it is being reflected by code G. And then you have code S, which means it's a scheduled airline. It's a scheduled passenger airline, to be more precise, because there are cargoes also. If it is like this, then the code would be S. It means it's a scheduled airline. It runs on a specific schedule. Every day or every alternate day, whatever number of days it's running, it's a scheduled airline. It's not an airline which is not running on non-scheduled basis. Then you have code D, which means it shares with another airline. It shares its code with another airline. There's a duplicate airline also. So it is being reflected by code D. It means it's a controlled airline. It is the code of the airline is shared with other airline also. It means they run code share. So if you find these codes in the airline encoding or decoding, then this is the meaning of those codes. I'll just share the smart point again. it's A here, it means airline is a member of ARINC. It is G here, it means airline is a partner to Galileo. It is S also here, it means airline is a scheduled airline. We are talking about VS. Only in front of VS you have these codes mentioned. Sorry, C is not mentioned, it means it's a member of SITA also. So if you want to, let's take more examples. Suppose you want to encode delta. So I type here .AE delta. So you get the code of Delta Airlines, which is DL. Then you get the 3-letter code and it's written AGS again, which means A means it's a member of ARINC. G means it's a travel port Galileo partnered airline. S stands for it's a scheduled airline. If you want to decode airline, then the code is .AD. A stands for airline, D stands for decoding. If you want to decode, suppose you want to decode SU, I get the answer. It's Aeroflot Russian airline, and again the membership codes also along with that. Let's take more examples. Suppose you want to decode KL. So it's KLM Airlines. Is KLM Royal Dutch Airlines, which is the airline of Netherlands. Then we have another command here. If we want the detail of the particular airline, then the command is AR, which is different from what we have done in Amadeus earlier. .AR is used for having more information, detailed information for that particular airline. We type AR, for example, I do LH. LH is Lufthansa. So you get complete information about that particular airline. So it's Deutsche Lufthansa, the name of the airline. Deutsche was earlier the name of Germany, Deutsche Land. Yeah, please tell me. Okay, please mute yourself. Okay, then you get it's a member of SITA, ARINC, and IATA. That is why you get these codes also. A here stands for, let me just use marker and check. So A, I told you, stands for ARINC because airline is a member of ARINC. So that is why A code is mentioned here. G, I told you, is that airline is a member of Travel Port Galileo. It has partnered with Travel Port Galileo, which doesn't get reflected. It's not a membership, so it is not mentioned here. As I told you, is a scheduled airline. And because it is a member of CETA, so C is not mentioned. If C is mentioned, it means it is not a SITA member. And because it shares its code with another airline, so that is why you have D mentioned here. D here means that it is a controlled airline. It shares its code with another airline also. Okay, these are not very, very important things, but you should know which airline is a member of which alliance. It is not that important for you at this point of time because you are doing air ticketing according to the ITA rules and regulations. The airline is a member of ITA, that is enough. Okay. Okay, I need to share again. Aman, you have also joined after so many days. If you have any confusions, you can speak with me after the class.
Yes.
So I again tell you this command because this command is quite different from what we have done earlier in Amadeus. So .AR followed by the airline code will give you information about that particular airline. More information about that particular airline. So .AR, okay, system has not taken the command. Let me just ignore it. .ARBA. So it gives me complete information about the head office of that particular airline, membership options, etc. Okay. So the other three commands for decoding and coding of airlines. .AE for encoding, .AD for decoding, and there's another thing .AR, which is more information about that airline, if you ever want that. Okay. Sorry. Coming to the next thing, which is country. City, let's do city first. If you want to decode any city, then we use command .ce. CE means city encoding. Here, remembering the commands is comparatively easier because they are just by the same initial from which that particular word starts. If you want to encode or decode airport, then the command remains same because the airport is in the city. So always, whichever GDS system you are using, the same command works for the airport also as the city. If you are encoding any city, then you get the airport list also. If you're encoding any airport, then you get city list also. So the commands are always the same in any GDS. For city and airport, commands will always be same. .ce means encoding of city. Suppose you wish to encode, for example, let me take the simple option first. Let's take Toronto. So I do .ce Toronto. So I get these options. So these are the M here stands for multi-city airport. I hope it's visible. YTO is the code of city Toronto, and M means that city has multiple airports which are mentioned alongside it. So YYZ is one airport in Toronto, then you have YTZ, then you have YKZ, etc. To move down, the command is same, which is MD. It is invalid here because there must not be more information. So CAON here again stands for Canada. ON is the city, state code. I'll tell you how to decode again in the last because that command is same only, similar here. The command is not different. Then suppose you wish to encode Bangalore. I do .ce Bangalore. The code is BLR for Bangalore, which is in India. IN. Here it should have been mentioned Karnataka also, but it's not mentioned. They are just mentioning it India. Let's do another one for city. Always remember to type at the arrow only. In Amadeus, the cursor moves to the arrow straight away. Here, if the cursor is not at arrow, then it will type anywhere. Just make sure that you type when there is an arrow sign. When you get this cursor blink, when the cursor is blinking, then type. .ce. Let's take another city. Maybe we take Moscow. .ce Moscow. So I get these codes. M here stands for multi-airport. And if it is A, it stands for airport. I do MD here. It's again showing invalid. MD works in availability and timetable. Any questions still here? No? Okay, so I'm ignoring my work. Go ahead.
On the Amadeus, when we search for the city codes, even the other mode of transports also show up. No, here it doesn't. It's only shows the airports.
In here, sometimes you will get it, sometimes you will not get it. It's not
like the ferry and the ferry bus station, things like that. What used to come on Amadeus, no?
Here you get more detail when you use the last option, which is CR. You get, but it is not clearly mentioned. See, you get here also. These codes which are mentioned here, these are of bus, railway and bus stations also, but it's not mentioned here. You cannot identify which is the airport, which is the bus terminal, or which is the railway terminal. So the last command which I'll tell you in this series, that will give you more information.
Okay.
Okay. Andy, what do you mean? Where can you download the soft copy or the software?
Sorry, I just don't understand where we can have this system.
The same process which Mayank told you for acquiring the Amadeus, it is the same procedure for Galileo as well.
Oh.
If you practice, you would be practicing on our system the way you were practicing on Amadeus.
Okay.
The procedure is same.
So today is the first day for Galileo,
yes,
right?
the first day.
Oh, so Amadeus, maybe we stop for a while.
Yeah, we'll stop for a while, as I mentioned in last class here, because we're facing some issues in the revision of MOU.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't hear clearly.
I sent
First
you the
class.
recording. I mentioned everything in the recording because we had a good discussion.
Yeah, sure. I know.
I
Okay,
mentioned
thank
the
you. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let's move ahead. I'm ignoring the screen again. So again, for decoding of the city, we use CD. Dot C, D. C stands for city, D stands for decoding. For decoding of a city, we can use any code. Maybe you can give me your codes. I do LED here. So I get the information. So LED is the code for St. Petersburg. It's written here. LED, St. Petersburg. Let me use marker because the font is too small. So LED is the code for St. Petersburg, which is in Russia. It's written Russian Federation. It's in Russia. So then LED is the code of airport. Here you get more information. After your question is getting answered here. So here you get the, when it is written A here, it means this is the airport code. So LED is the airport code and name of the airport in St. Petersburg is this Pulkovo. Then ZLK is the code of the railway station in St. Petersburg. Okay. So here you get more information. When you do decoding, then you get more information about that particular city. Let's use more commands in the same series. So I do CG and for example, I do NYC. So you get all the information. So these are the airports in New York. So NYC is the code of New York, which is in USA, New York. Then you have EWR is the airport code for New York Liberty International and so on. So these are all the airports. Then you have port stations, etc. Everything will come here. We can do MD if to see if there are more options. MD hardly works in decoding and coding. It is there. It's working here. So this is the railway station. This is again a railway station. No other options are there. Okay. These are airports. This is a port station. This is a railway station. So then if you want more detail about that particular city or the airport code, then we use command CR. R is for, you can remember, reference. Reference means more information, more detailed information. So .cr followed by the code of the city or the airport. So I do .cr. Let's do the same thing, which is we were checking for LED. Let's do LED and you get detailed information. Let's understand this. This is the name of the airport, which is Pulkovo. Then you have UTC variation. UTC means GMT time. What is the GMT time for that particular city? So it's 3 GMT 3. In India, we have GMT plus 5:30. Here it is GMT plus 3. It's 2.5 hours behind us. Then you have the telephone number of the head airport, the main airport, LEG. So this is the phone number. The location is mentioned in miles. It's always the aerial location. You can say GPS aerial location. Please mute yourself. And transport, what are the options of transport available from that particular airport? So this is a helpful command because if you are booking the transfer of a person, see when you are doing for the tourism or business purpose. So if you wish to book the transport also from airport to the hotel or to some place, then you can, the taxi is available. Journey time is 15 minutes to the main city center. Journey time is also mentioned. If you are taking taxi, then to the main city center, the journey time is 15 minutes. If you are taking bus, then route number this is the price of USD which you would need to pay. Car, this and etc. etc. If you are taking tram or a train, then that between the terminals, bus and taxi service is also available. Airport to airport, if you are going from some airport to airport or airport to railway station, then this is the cost of the taxi. The price mentioned may not be updated prices. And the prices which are mentioned are public prices, not the private transport price. USD 10 is not the private transport price. So designator code, okay, this is nothing. Okay, this airport is serving which all airlines that is mentioned. So this particular airport of LED St. Petersburg is serving all these airlines. Means you can take a flight for all these airlines from this particular airport, from Terminal 1. Then you have Terminal 2. Pulkovo 2 means Terminal 2. So these airlines run from Terminal 2 of LED Airport. The facilities which you have, left luggage facilities, means you have a concierge service there. You can leave your luggage at the airport. Okay, so 24 hours operational. Airports are always 24 hours operational. Okay, then you have banks inside the airport. Then you have post office at Terminal 1. There are restaurants, lounge at Terminal 1. So these are the things which you can find at the airport, or the services which can be taken from that particular airport, and vice versa also. Okay. Car parking is available. Car parking for short stay is available. It's located in front of both the arrival and departure terminal. It's mentioned here. I'll use marker and check. The car parking is available. Just a second. Car parking is available free of charge. Tourist info desk is there, and those etc. Right? So all this information was updated on 27 Jan 04. Means the information updated was on 27 January 2004. It's a long back, right? Almost 18 years back. Okay. I told you this information may not be updated always. So this command is useful command because if you're looking for some more detailed information, then the CR command or the reference command you can say works. Let me show you this command for another airport. Let's check for India also. So I do here DLR. So it's written Bangalore, India. Name of the airport, UTC is 5:30. Check-in, general check-in times, etc. And then we do MD. And you get more information. Restaurants are there at terminal this, car parking, etc. Tourist info desk, business center facilities, etc. Okay. This command helps you to give more information about that particular city or the airport. You want me to use this command for any city or airport, please let me know. No? Okay. So I ignore this three. I is for ignore. So next is country. If you want to encode any country, then it is L. Here it becomes different because we've already used C for city, so it's L now. So LE means country. Suppose you want to encode country, let's do Russia. So I do .LE Russia. So I get the code of Russia and other codes also. Let's do more. Let's do Canada. The code of Canada is CA. You don't get the ITA area information here. US. To encode, it's LD. To decode, sorry, it's LD. I use LD for decoding. So, for example, you want to decode NZ. It's New Zealand. Suppose you want to decode AE. So it's United Arab Emirates. I wanted to show you another thing also. That option is not coming. Let me decode Germany. Okay, it's still not coming. When it is A mentioned here, in case of a country, it means that particular country is a member of European Civil Aviation. And if it is R also mentioned, it means that particular country is split into regions. There are separate regions the country is split into. And if it is A, it means it's a part of the European Federation. You got this A in case of Russia. You got this in case of Germany. We didn't get in case of Canada or USA because Canada, USA are not part of European Federation. European Civil Aviation, not Federation. Federation is the word we use for other reasons. It's European Civil Aviation. You know, Europe is a conglomerate of a lot of countries. A lot of countries are part of European Union. And in Europe itself, a lot of countries which are not part of EU, European Union. So that is why in case of Europe, we have these special codes also being used. Then for more information, we use command .rd here. There for reference, you use, in case of city, you use CR command for reference. Here we use .rd command for reference. So I do .rd followed by the country code. Then I get more information. I do .rdus. So I get the list of states of USA. So if I want to again use RD for example, with PAON, 4-letter code also we use .rd command. In Amadeus, this command, the parallel command for this is .dns, if you remember, right? Here it is .rd, reference for more information. So I do CAON, so I get it's Canada, Ontario. The 4-letter code is being decoded by .rd command. To get list of states again, we use .rd command. Any questions? No? If the time permits, should I continue with the availability command also? Decoding and coding was done quite early. It didn't take much time because you already know the basics of decoding and coding. You already know why it is being used. I don't have to explain in that much detail. Should I continue with availability?
Yep.
Okay. So I ignore the screen. Availability is the same thing, which means availability in Amadeus. I will not cover filters. Filters will get confusing. I'll just cover the basic availability command and we'll try to cover the PNR creation. And detailed availability I'll cover in next class. Here we use command A. So suppose you want to do it for 11 June. I do A 11 June. You type the city pair. For example, you want a flight from Delhi to, okay, this time let's take another example, which is Bangalore to, for example, Frankfurt. Okay, so instead of AN, it is A11 June. I'm doing A11 June, Bangalore to Frankfurt. So I get my options available. So system will take some time to load in this case. Okay. So here, when you open availability, you get those classes also which are closed, for which you cannot do booking. You can see here it's mentioned DC. It's mentioned ZC. C means those classes, the booking for those classes is closed. You cannot book those classes. Those classes which are available are with J code, with green highlight. So J is the class which is available, which has 9 seats. Y is the class which is 9 seats, which is available. Then G class is available, etc. Okay. E here again stands for electronic ticketing. I'm just telling you a few things today, and we'll cover more in more detail later on also. So if you click on this, just hover on the thing so you will get more information. In Galileo, you can hover or click on the things to get more information about it. It will take time. Okay.